to be straight with you. There will be no return to the old normal for the foreseeable future. I repeat, there will be no return to the old normal for the foreseeable.
And you pick the people to run those agencies and the deputies that are pledging allegiance to the new world order and good governance. And then I think you have the Inspector General do some spot audits to make sure that there is real compliance. Prerogative work.
Candidate and former Vice President Joe Biden finds himself in more hot water this week. Just confirmed, a Ukrainian court ordered Joe Biden to be formally listed in a criminal case. The crime? The alleged firing of Ukraine's former Prosecutor General Viktor Shokin in exchange for dropping an investigation into Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, and the company for which he was a board member, Burisma Oil. Shokin formally called for an investigation into his firing back in February of 2020, claiming the Ukrainian government at the time relieved Shokin of his post in exchange for $1 billion in loan guarantees promised by Biden.
No matter what happens next month, more than a third of the nation that would go along with this is reason to be afraid. America needs to repent for its worship of whiteness on full display.
I'm making this video. This morning I had watched the press conference that took place in Las Vegas over, the ballot fraud. And I thought, my grandmother passed away in September. I wonder if I should look hers up and see if it shows up. So I went to Ballot Tracks and pulled up her information or placed her information in, and lo and behold, it shows up that she voted in the general election, and thanks her for her vote. And she died early September. My family's still going through a grieving process, and I was taken back, and my grandfather was taken back, my mom. It's, you don't expect this. You don't expect this. So I'm gonna flip this around and show you that she indeed, well, she didn't, but somebody voted using her identity in the Nevada general election. So down here, in the gray down at the bottom, it shows ballot outbound that it had been sent to her, and right underneath it says ballot received. And that's my grandmother.
We've built sophisticated systems to protect against election interference that combine artificial intelligence, significant human review, and partnerships with the intelligence community, law enforcement, and other tech platforms. We've taken down more than 100 networks of bad actors who are trying to coordinate and interfere globally. We established a network of independent fact-checkers that covers more than 60 languages.
More than a year ago, the public asked us to offer additional context to help make potentially misleading information more apparent. We did exactly that, applying labels to over 300,000 tweets from October 27th to November 11th, which represented about 2.2% of all US election-related tweets.
Now that sounds good, but there's been a lot of controversy over many of the things both companies have done, like with Facebook's independent fact-checkers. Facebook employs 10 different fact-checking organizations. For example, they work with an organization called Climate Feedback to fact-check claims on climate change. The way it works is that these independent fact-checkers are allowed to make their own ratings on whether facts are true, false, partly false, etc. And sharing what's been labeled false information on Facebook now has consequences. Pages and websites that repeatedly share false information will see their distribution reduced and their ability to advertise removed. The problem is, no one is happy with this system. Although the fact-checkers are allowed to make their own ratings, Facebook has the final say and may adjust those ratings. Facebook also determines what information gets fact-checked. For example, they largely don't fact-check statements made by politicians or public figures. They classify those as opinions. And Facebook determines which pages qualify as repeat offenders when it comes to spreading false information. That has led many liberals to accuse Facebook of relaxing their misinformation rules in favor of conservatives. On the other side, conservatives have been claiming for years that Facebook and other social media companies are biased against them. But everyone knows there's no anti-conservative bias on social media.
This young man right here, I'm going to let him use my special mic. Hey, this is a big guy. Don't go, oh, come on, man. I mean, this is a... All right, what's your name?
Terrence Scott. Huh? Terrence Scott.
Terrence Scott, what do you have to say?
I have to say why people hate you and why they supposed to love you and God is loving.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, come on, hey. That's what I'm talking about. Terrence, I appreciate that. What grade are you in?
4th.
You're in 4th grade? Well, now, first of all, I did get elected president, so not everybody hates me now. I don't want you to... I got a whole lot of votes. I want to make sure everybody understands. But, you know, what is true is if you were watching TV lately, it seems like everybody's just getting mad all the time. And I think that you've got to take it with a grain of salt. Some of it is just what's called politics, where, you know, once one party wins, then the other party kind of gets, it feels like it needs to poke you a little bit to keep you on your toes. And so you shouldn't take it too seriously. And then sometimes, as I said before, people just, I think they're worried about their own lives. A lot of people are losing their jobs right now. A lot of people are losing their health care, or they've lost their homes to foreclosure, and they're feeling frustrated. And when you're president of the United States, you know, you got to deal with all of that. That's exactly right. And you know, you get some of the credit when things go good, and when things are going tough, then you know you're going to get some of the blame, and that's part of the job. But you know, I'm a pretty tough guy. Are you a tough guy? You look like you're pretty tough, and so you just got to keep on going even when folks are criticizing you, because as long as you know that you're doing it for other people. All right, so thank you. You're a fine young man. I appreciate you. All right. Give Terrence a big round of applause. All right, everybody. I love you. Thank you. Thank you, New Orleans.
What you know now, do you wish like you had a third term? And I used to say, you know what, if I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony. Wow. I'd be fine with that.
Helicopter traveled to southern Utah on a mission to count bighorn life forms with wildlife officers.
And he's like, whoa, 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 turn around. And I was like, what? And he's like, there's this thing back there. We got to go look at it.
The crew had spotted an object of unknown origin on the red surface.
Okay, the intrepid explorers go down to investigate the alien life form.
In the middle of the barren desert stood a mysterious metal monolith.
I would say it's probably between 10 and 12 feet high.
Yeah, it's just wild.
We were kind of joking around, and if one of us suddenly disappears, then I guess the rest of us make a run for it. So
Pilot Brett Hutchings says it didn't look like it was dropped there. It was firmly planted into the ground.
we're like thinking, okay, is this something like NASA stuck up there or something? You know, are they bouncing satellites off it or something?
It seemed less scientific and more artistic.
I'm assuming it is, you know, some new wave artist or something, you know, or somebody that just is a big 2001 Space Odyssey fan.
The similarity to the space movie was unmistakable, as was the bizarre effect it had on observers.
It just was kind of unusual and stuff.
The universe is filled with the unexplained, and this journey to southern Utah only raised more questions. As the crew headed home, they only wished they had the answers.
Yeah, I have to admit that's been about the strangest thing that I've come across out there in all the years of flying.
We are back with a mystery deepening in a remote area of southeastern Utah following a bizarre discovery.
Yeah, while counting sheep, officers with Utah Division of Wildlife Resources and the Department of Public Safety came across a large metal structure. Now, the Bureau of Land Management investigating just how that mystery monolith came to be. ABC4's Nicole Newman explains.
The intrepid explorers go down to investigate the alien life form.
Among the red rock in southeastern Utah now sits this.
Okay, who does this kind of stuff?
A large metal three-sided structure in an area so remote, the Utah Department of Public Safety doesn't want to disclose its location. It's fearful someone may want to visit the site and become stranded.
It's interesting how it comes right. It's right at.
Yeah.
Pointed right at the lumen crack.
Yeah. That's just wild.
The structure not only appears to be solid and heavy, but is more than 2 times the height of this man.
What the heck is that?
Which makes it even more of a mystery as to who installed the structure or how they got it there.
They've cut it in?
Crews with the department's Aero Bureau and the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources first discovered it last Wednesday. It was during a bighorn sheep count. The Bureau of Land Management is now determining whether or not it needs to investigate further. The area is a publicly managed land, making the installation illegal without proper authorization. Nicole Newman, ABC4 News.
All right, everybody, Rex Bear Leak Project again. I just wanted to get a selfie here with the monolith and the homage to 2001 Space Odyssey. This is fascinating because as I'm hitting this, you can see it's not fully solid. It's probably just aluminum or something, metal, maybe stainless steel. But you can see the rivets right there. You see that? So I really doubt that's alien technology. But also, when you walk around it here, it's three sides. So you got 3 sides to it. And once again, there's no EMF signal coming out of it. I've tested with all the different detectors. But look at this. Let me show you something. Look at this. So if you see this view right here, you can tell that's the rock that people were talking about behind us there. And then it's got the canyon, the slot canyon right there. But here's where you can tell that they use tools to cut it in. See these straight lines? They probably used a concrete saw. Came out here, cut it in. And look at this. You can even see it's already starting to, this right here, it's not even sealed. See that? You could peel this open, and somebody made a smart comment. There's probably something inside of there, but I'm not going to open it up. But there's, just 3 sides. Probably. It's a little bit less there. Yeah, right there. See that? Boom. They've got this for fingerprint analysis now, right? We know who's been here from all over the world. That's just so cool. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. Hit the bell, be well, be the change you want.
By the way, Mr. Prime Minister, can you introduce me to Terence and Philip? I know that they are big stars in Canada, but it's very strange. I couldn't find them in the social networks. Maybe you can help. I know that there are national leaders.
I'll ask my team to try and figure out how we can connect you. I think that would probably be the easiest way to do that, because I don't have their direct coordinates with me now. But we can follow up on that.
Oh, that's nice. So you can introduce me to Terence and Philip? It would be possible?
Wait, Terence and Philip, were they not in South Park?
I don't know. I just know that there are two guys that is very, very popular guys in Canada. I know that everybody loves them. Do you know them?
Well, I appreciate your request. I don't personally know them. I believe they are South Park parodies of Canadians.
Yes, that is actually the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, thinking that he is speaking to Greta Thunberg, but actually speaking to two Russian pranksters. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Rudowski of WeAreChange.org, and I have to say that clip definitely brought me back to an old time when the internet was still wild, interesting, a strange place of thought and expression, and not the wiped-down corporate, squeegee-cleaned Disney World nonsense that it is right now. But we still have at least these moments that we should still cherish while they are still here. Now, in today's video, if we have time, we're going to give you the latest information surrounding the election, but predominantly we are going to be focusing on the quote, new normal and excessive abuse of power that we're seeing delved out all throughout the world, specifically when it comes to business closures. And before we do that, plus a lot more, I wanted to remind everyone where we stand as an independent news organization, because we want to make people understand that your faith and your destiny is in essentially your hands. It's not in a government's hand, it's not in a corporation's hand, it's not in your favorite celebritard or sports tard's hand. Your life, your faith, your destiny is decided by you, and that's the way it should be. If you think a bureaucratic government that can't run the post office efficiently, nor the DMV, or even figure out how to send everyone a check, if you think that they have your best interest at heart and you rely on them for your personal and well-being, well, you're gonna have a bad freaking time. And I think the more people that realize that they have to be responsible for themselves, the better we will be off as humanity. But these messages of personal responsibility and you yourself deciding how seriously you want to take a particular threat, well, those messages are getting obfuscated, downranked in the algorithm, and sometimes just straight up censored and deleted from big tech social media. All the while, individuals like this douche flute in the middle here are promoted. They're on everyone's timeline, everyone's feed, everyone's notifications, as of course he makes videos with Dr. Fauci telling you the importance of social distancing, of taking this threat extremely seriously, doing everything we can at all costs to prevent people from gathering in large numbers without masks. Of course, reading the establishment script like he's told to do, and now he's seen partying with a bunch of young ladies with their bazongas out. You know, when you're telling people what to do and you're not doing it yourself, you kind of look like an a-hole. And that's definitely putting it lightly. But let's not focus on this douche flute here, because what ultimately matters is what's happening with the big tech social media algorithms that is literally elevating him while, of course, suspending, downranking, demonetizing, and sometimes even deleting individuals who dare question some of this logic that these people push on you. As we recently saw, as YouTube decided to suspend one of Donald Trump's favorite news network, OANN, over a quote unlisted video. Yes, Now, there's a lot of things you could criticize the One American News Network on, sure, but that's not the topic here. To prevent them from posting content for a week, to entirely demonetize their channel over an alleged unlisted video is absolutely insane and hypocritical.